Dr. Nyanamani ma'am, she is a Chief Scientist, Head Microbiology Division, CSIR CLRI, Professor and Nodal Officer. So when it comes to her academic research experience and employment, ma'am hold more than 28 years of academic and research experience with the area of specialization of environmental and healthcare. When it comes to her honors, awards, and achievement, ma'am has achieved Academic of Science Fellowship in March 2024 and the Best Women Scientist 2023 received during sensational celebration of Holy Cross Village, Tiruchi. And when it comes to innovation in science, ma'am has secured Vocational Science of Excellence Award offered by Rotary Club of Madras midterm during June, and Women Icon Award for the year 2019, Scotch Order of Merit Award for the Technology Development, Fellow of International Medical Sciences Academy, Best Women Scientist Award for National Academy of Biological Sciences, gold medal, and secured lot of cash prizes. And when it comes to DBT, a Chest Award and Tamil Nadu Scientist Award by Chancellor, and DBT Overseas Fellowship Award, Tata Innovative Fellowship Award, cover page article in Journal of Applied Polymer Sciences in the year 2014. When it comes to publications of ma'am, it is N number of international and national journals, which holds 240 and 11 book chapters, 38 H index, and ma'am holds 108 H10 index. Ma'am holds external projects handle 10 number from CSIR, DBT, L'Oreal, Indophil. When it comes to academic activities, as a member of the Board of Studies in various universities, ma'am is a doctoral committee member for the students of various universities, research project evaluation and research advisor, academic council member, Welltech High Tech Engineering College. Ma'am has completed PhD to students of 25 numbers and ongoing 2 numbers, and filed the patents of 14, technology transferred is 2, and new product developed is 4 numbers, with a patent granted of 3. I like to invite ma'am, and ma'am will be the best one for covering today's topic. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. Shall I upload my PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Terida, Ma.
Ma'am, make it a full screen, ma'am.
Yeah. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am, it's okay now.
Okay. Thank you, Gomati, Dean, Faculty of Sciences, and Priya for the brief introduction about me. I like to thank the organizers for giving me the great opportunity to just share my experience with getting how to write proposals and how to get funds for the research and other things. So, is it audible now? Shall I go through?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay. The topic, what it has been given to me, is the tips for an effective method of writing research proposals. The current scenario of research needs funding. Is it so? So we need to have money to make our passion towards the research, because I have a very good passion towards my research, starting from my research career onwards. And whenever I am seeing any kind of problem, I immediately thought, how come I can able to transform this into a research? So that is the way I grown. And fortunately, I got a position over here in Central Leather Research, it's a CSIR lab. There we got enough funding to carry out our own interested research with reference to specific towards leather or the collagen or any kind of research towards the leather industries. So it has been, my path is like that, and I have concentrated on whatever the opportunity comes to me, I have taken up. That's why I got very good funding from DBT, DST, and so far, so many number of fundings with the kind of research patient, what is the idea it has been generated by me, I have carried out. So I like to start with the introduction that what is the research? Everybody is saying that research. Now some of the people said, what you people are talking about research? What kind of research you people are talking? And I don't know about what exactly the research means. It is a kind of definition given in the Wikipedia itself, saying that research is a kind of searching something, and then we have to increase our knowledge in the particular field of research. For example, if I can able to see in the case of while I am coming towards lab by car or vehicle, we can able to see there is so many number of morning hours fasteners and other things we can able to see. People are going by vehicle, people are going by car, people are going by cycle and other things. One of the recent message I have read it, if people are promoting using cycle for taking care of your health and other things. So if you are promoting the cycle usage, then the economic growth of that whole globally it will be reducing, because you are not going to use coal, you are not going to use petrol, you are not, all your manufacturing of the cars and other things will be getting reduced. And the cycle idea, though it has been promoting your health and making you to fit, but it impact on the global economical growth in that concern. So there is a kind of joke it has been given, but it's our duty to see to that. What is the kind of perception between the people? For one person, it will be a kind of health. In another person, it will be a kind of economic point of view. So there is a kind of research it is going on, and everybody wants to do something to deliver to the society, and each one of us having some internal fire on us to do some research if you are really in the scientific field. So research is a kind of research. So it should increase our knowledge. And okay, what it involves, it is a collection. We are doing research. It means, for example, if a PhD student join in your team and you said, go and do some literature collection. What else in that particular topic it has been told before or published before? Then from that you can collect where is the point it has been missed, where there is a lead. That lead can able to develop into your research, and you have to organize and you have to analyze, and then you have to go for the what are all the bias and errors and other things. So this is the kind of definition given in Wikipedia. As well as in the research project also, research project may be an expansion of your past work. For example, I did some work in MSc, and based on that I got a lead, and that lead will pursue to my research, and based on that lead I can develop my research as a PhD topic. And that PhD topic I can involve into so many number of disciplines, and from that I can able to generate a proposal kind of thing. I can able to get a fund, and I can able to have a novel ideas. So that is a kind of chain process that is going on. So first of all, you have to have a passion towards the research. That makes you to give a kind of what is research, what is the research project in the sense. Coming to the structure of research, we know that the idea is the most important thing. We know that this idea is a generation. We come across so many number of issues in our life, day-to-day life. For example, now based on the idea only, now we are going to have a solar system. We can able to reduce the energy spent towards electricity. Now we are going to have hydrogen energy as a fuel. These are the ideas it has been generated, so it can reduce. So how come the idea? The idea should be to reduce the burden or to have the value towards the society. That is the fundamental things we have to know about that. For example, I am developing some kind of the molecule. I am synthesizing some kind of the molecule. That should have an impact on the current disease or current product need. That is the idea it needs to be given. For that idea, you have to read more papers. For example, when I am able to read every day, I am going to read about journals published or the publication articles in Nature or Scientific American or New Scientist kind of thing. We come up with, oh, this kind of research it is going on. How far we can able to relate? So you have to think and you have to crystallize. That is called develop. So this development, the idea need to be developed. For example, during COVID times, people are working on how we can able to prepare the sanitizers. That is the idea. How we can able to dispense it. That is also idea. And the development has come into the kind of manufacturing. What are the items needed? What even you can think about the PPE as well as the kind of disposable sanitation preparations. It runs in a kind of flows, and most of the startup companies started preparing sanitizing and the dispensers without touching the machines. or everything is a kind of idea they got it and then they develop. So once these idea, if you can get it, for example, if you try to work on, we people are working with the biomaterials, there is a current need for the material to deliver some of the few drugs, for example, the cancers, because the cancer is growing in such a way that the fastness in India is highly alarming. We need to stop cancer development, and we need to have an important molecule to arrest the cancer development, and we have to have a medication for that. So the targeting molecules is a kind of things. How we can able to deliver is a kind of material. So these are molecule is there, material need to deliver to the target site, and how we are going to. So we have to develop what kind of molecules, how we can able to carry. You should not spoil in the middle of the cargo kind of thing. You should target the cancer tissue kind of thing. The development, how we can able to target, how we can able to functionalize the material, how we can able to upload the drug. That is the idea, and we have to develop. Now you have got the idea. This is a new molecule. This is a new material. Both the things coming together, it will target the cancer tissue. This is the kind of hypothetical idea you must have in your mind. Then comes the fund. Because nowadays research is not so easy. We need to have enough fund to carry out the research. Even a single chemical, even starting from sodium chloride, water, power, electricity, and all those little bit items, as well as the facilities. Even the pH meter is not available to most of the colleges and other things. pH is the most important parameter. We need to have the fund for raising this kind of facilities over here. And even for the fundamental preparations and other things, we need to have a buffer. We need to have the salt and other things. We have to store the buffer for that. We need to have a freezers or fridge or any other kind of things, and for making the sample, and for everything needs money over. If you are going to join us a new researcher or a new faculty to any kind of colleges, any kind of universities, you have to see to the what are the facilities it is over there, how you can able to adopt the idea, how you can develop within the scenario. Otherwise, there is a great opportunity for the newcomer to get collaborated with the other universities where the facilities are there. Nowadays, the collaboration is very much needed. The teamwork is needed, and so that the work will be shared between the two institutions or the three institutions. Part of the work, the idea can be generated by you, but it will be executed in somewhere else. The results will be helpful for you to come out with the kind of a product or a science or a hypothetical view. Everything needs funding. Where is the source of funding? That is a major question mark in front of us. Based on the funding, availability of funding, you can plan and you can execute, and then you can make it as a publish, or you can make it as a report. So the funding is needed for basic sciences or a curiosity driven sciences, it will be there. So fund is most essential. How we are going to take fund from that. Funding is available from how government, so many number of government funding agencies are there. I am going to give you the list. Even most of the deemed universities, they have given what are the funding agencies available, where is the call, when is the call, the chart, time chart, it is available in most of the universities. They are giving to the newcomers or the faculties. And also we have a private funding agencies are there. That is because of the collaboration or because of the research need, they can come and contact you people. Why can't you do this kind of research for us, so that it will be helpful for our own industry kind of thing. There is a private funding. Then corporate funding, research funding is available. Most of the corporates, even Infosys, TCS, everybody is ready to give some funding for research and self-supporting. In most of the time for PhD, for example, PhD research, people are doing research without having any kind of support. That is, self-supporting is there for research, for PhD research, not for the research for the particular problem. It is not possible. We have to depend on some funding agencies, or we have to be join as a team member to work on this kind of already developed system. And these are the list of funding agencies at national, international level. Every time, I think all those details are available in every university and every colleges. It is there in their website. But these are available. But what kind of information we are going to have is a kind of information that we need to have connected with the kind of research group. So that is the call given by DST. There is a call given by DBT. There is a call given in SERB. There is a call given in UGC, in CSIR. CSIR's HRDG is always open for funding. You have to submit the proposal, you have to make it over there. Otherwise, in other funding agencies, they will give a call, and based on that call, and you can apply for the research funding. Then you have to design. There, the importance is given to the particular topic. Whereas in CSIR HRDG, anytime you can apply for any kind of, there won't be a call, but it reference to the importance of the scenario, the current scenario. For example, for past 2 to 3 years, we are talking about antibiotic resistance, microbial species, AMR is there. If your research is going to coincide with that kind of research, or you are developing some kind of antibiotics or a secondary metabolite or a molecule by chemical base or a biological based system, there if you are fit into that AMR, you can join and you can submit the proposal. So every time there is a call, the only thing is you have to get in connected with the your team group, or by any kind of advertisement is there in the paper or in the kind of DBT website, DST website, and most of the websites are giving a announcement, and it will be a kind of limelight highlighting this one. There is a call for particular research. There is a call for eye research. There is a call for biomaterial research. There is a call for medical devices. So you please think it over. Where are you? How you can able to collate, how you can coincide with the kind of call, and this is mostly available in the public domain. And coming to the funding allocations, there are so many funders are there, but we can't expect how much funding is available. When we are compared to the international funding, we have only the 0.65% of your fund is for the research and development. But it is with that we can able to develop, but we need to have a more funding towards the research, but still it is not kind of status. So going by recent decisions, the thinking in the government seems to be that R&D spends cannot rise substantially without partnering with the private sector. That's why you have to have a partner. That's why the BIRAC has come from DBT. You have to get interacted with the industries. For example, what are the parts of the research you can do in your lab that will be sponsored partially by the industry? Which industry is going to take up your research? So the partnering with the private sector is mostly given by the government. It is insisting that you have to get along with the industries, because industry doesn't have a kind of research laboratories or the researchers. They are only for the manufacturing purpose they are running, but they want to do some kind of novelty in their product or like to innovate some kind of research in that part, that you can get interacted with the kind of industries. They will sponsor part of your research, and the government of India will sponsor part of the research. Finally, the benefit is going to the society as well as the industries. The credit is going to the researcher. So that is the way the partnering is essential over here. And I think we know that during COVID-19, Department of Biotechnology earns much, the whole amount of funds. Even CSIR is not going to have much fund on that scenario. So most of the fund allocated over here, DBT has taken much initiative on health research that has been there. And in 2024, based on that climate and other things, they released some interim budget also. That budget is also only within the 0.65%. So that is there. So what they have decided to rebrand the kind of research towards the research funding and other things. Earlier by Lal Bahadur Shastri, it is a Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. And according to our own earlier leader, Vajpayee, it's a Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan. And now by our Modi ji, it will be Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. Jai Anusandhan, nothing but the research. We have to concentrate on our research. Now we have to reinforce the foundation of research and innovation for development. This is the slogan it has been given. So there is a high opportunity for research. Only thing is we need to have passion as well as we need to have idea generations. And coming to the state-wise fund allocations, it is all available in the website, and you can say we have only the 0.02% fund allocation over here. I think most of the deemed universities have enough fund allocations towards the research. not to raise their NRF rating and other things. So with this percentage of funds available, there is a huge competition in getting the funds for research from each agencies. The criteria for each funding agency is designed based on the mandates and targeting sector. Earlier, it will be a COVID in past 2021 to 24. It is only the COVID research, viral research, developing molecules, targeting COVID, and everything is towards the COVID. Every time it will be like that. And the scenario will change with the AMR, the scenario will change with the kind of medical devices, drugs, surveying even, for example, the recent research, I think the AstraZeneca has withdrawn or stopped the production of COVID-19, that is Covishield. Then there is a possibility of research to undertake. This is an idea, because while writing this preparation of these PPTs only, I got the idea. Some of the people can take up Covishield has been burned. Why it is so? You have to generate the idea, because they are claiming that they will arrest the blood flow, other things. Is it really the truth, or it is a kind of a false blame to the company by the developed countries? These are the open up system. So in our scenario, we can associate with the hospital. I like to propose a kind of study doing surveying of those who have taken a Covishield and what is the current status, what is their current health conditions, and how we can able to see the statement is true or false. That is the kind of lead we got in. For that, we need to have for surveying, we have to collaborate with the hospitals, we have to collaborate with any kind of Tamil Nadu government, because where the number of Covishield has been given, which area it has been taken, who else are the result of the people who have taken, whether they have taken the first dose or second dose or booster dose, everything, if we can able to think it over, then we can able to develop a very good proposal to understand the statement is true or false. That is the current scenario. I think most of us know that AstraZeneca withdrawn that Covishield, but still the question is on the research is made. So there is open up research. You have to involve yourself in that. So for that, the funding, if you request, certainly there will be funding agency will give priority to your research. And the funding agencies will call for specific research topic. For soon you may get the Covishield. Why the Covishield has been banned? What is the impact of coronavirus in medicines and the human health? This kind of topic it will be there soon as an open advertisement, and the researchers who wish to have fun, they can involve themselves in preparing the research proposals given in the website of that particular funding agency. Because the website nowadays everything is online, digitalized. So it is easy for you to feed your own research proposal in such a way that is very much easy. Otherwise, in earlier days, we have to prepare 10 copies of the research proposal. We have to send it by post or speed post. Then it will be scrutinized. It will be sent to the reviewers. It takes much time for us to get the information. It takes more than 6 months to get whether my research proposal has been selected in the screen or it has been moved, whether I can get fund. But nowadays, it's not like that. It's a fastness. Within 24 to 30 days of time, whether it will be going for screening, it will be informed. Whether the reviewers has ready to accept your proposals, and what is the kind of funding, what is the kind of query they have raised, everything is online. So you people are gifted in the kind of current scenario for getting funding or submission of the research proposal. And it is each one of us duty to check for the call. That's why I'm saying earlier, or through WhatsApp group, you will come to know that where is the call, what is the call, when is the call, what is the subject they are called for the proposals, and everything is available. And there the call is there. You have to make for the starting point of the journey over there. Research proposal writing is similar to the research article. Everybody has a publication. We know that how we are writing a research article based on the data generated by us with the kind of objective, with the kind of methodology, with the kind of interpretation, with the kind of conclusion. It is similar to the research article. But here in research proposal, we are not going to talk about the interpretation of the results, what I got and other things. No need. It is a kind of preliminary approach or the hypothetical approach, what I am going to do. So this is the kind of journey we are going to see that. And many researchers unfortunately do not completely comprehend what a research proposal structure means or nor do they recognize its value. Nowadays, we should not be, we should be very careful on each and every point of questions or the proposal steps given in the funding agencies. A poorly prepared research proposal format adversely affects the research project, although by some means it managed to get support. So you have to be very careful in preparing a research proposal. A well-written proposal not only helps ensure research success, but also enhances your potential as a researcher among your evaluators. The way you are delivering, the way you are showcasing your thought, the innovation, the methodology, that gives you a kind of opinion to the reviewers. They will, anytime they can recollect your name. Whenever I am going to debate, they'll say that, that proposal you have submitted, that is a wonderful proposal, they will say. Because when I am submitting my proposal to Tata Innovative Fellowship, it's a prestigious fellowship. For that, I submit the proposal. I got awarded because that time I don't know, because it is a long back, 2009 to 10, I am saying. We submitted. The novelty, the idea is the most important thing, has been considered for the award. So they got that award. The novelty is nothing but I'm going to develop a new kind of product that will satisfy or that will manage the current problem. That is the way it has been given, it has been narrated, so that every time they will say that is a wonderful proposal, it has been submitted by you. Even another proposal, I got it. Every time I am getting applaud when I am going for the presenting the research output or research report, I'll get applaud from the reviewers and other committee members saying that it's a wonderful outcome you got it. So that is the way we have to work on that. That is the way we have to convince the reviewers or the evaluators. So one thing before starting, you have to have some questions to be raised. What is the topic I want to give over here? How I can able to convince the reviewers that if the topic should be very simple and the topic should be very much relevant to the call, and the topic should be very much relevant to what you are going to discuss. For example, now we have discussed about the AstraZeneca withdrawal from Covishield production. The same thing, Covishield, is it the usage of Covishield, is it necessarily the impact on the health? So the topic should be very catchy on that. Research on top Covishield, or how much the impact of Covishield on the corona patient. Whether the corona is there or not in their patient, we got up to, as a preventive medicine, we got Covishield as a first dose, second dose. We know that after having that injection, we got fever, we got vomiting, we got body pain, and it was there for 2 to 3 days and we recover back. And still, we know that that kind of immunity developed in the system can be able to protect us in the recent, I think, past 1 month. So many people are affected by the kind of fever and other things. It is the kind of impact, maybe the antibodies production and other things. Some of the people are prevented from this kind of, they didn't face this kind of fever and other things. So the topic is most important, and you have to think whether it is worthwhile to do research. If the topic is okay, for example, I am developing I'm identifying a new metabolite, I think metabolite, you know that now, or a kind of new molecule through chemical means I am going to synthesis. It is like a kind of amino acid. I am going to develop a peptide. I am going to develop a small peptide of a kind of 4 bases to this 4 kb proteins and other things. So number of amino acids may be 4 or 5. How I can, is it worthwhile to do research? Where the implication of your research will for the society? So you have to think, you have to raise the questions, and what practical valuable problems will it help? Whether it is really a solution for the existing problem, and how we are going to improve, and what is already done. I think we are going to talk about the peptide research. There are so many number of peptide research are there in that, like aptamers, like kind of small peptides, like kind of medium peptides. They are getting peptides from the natural molecule. They are synthesizing peptides and everything. The target is a disease. So your peptide may be a novel. There is no more. Peptide research is a generic. And you are going to think about, I am going to insert a new amino acid. I am going to get amino acids over there, and I want to study over there. I want to make a recombinant protein peptides. So these are the research opportunities for you. You think it over based on your knowledge or your expertise. Then you can design and you have to build upon. Then how is it important within the subject areas covered? For example, there is a call on peptide research. So you have to give how you can be an important in that subject area. What are the specific tasks? Can I get those tasks done within the time and resource available? That is the most important. You can have an idea, but you have to have a time limit. Within 3 years, I can develop. Within 2 years, I can develop. So with that available funding, with that available facility, with that available manpower, whether it is possible for me to complete the task. These are the questions need to be raised by yourself. Then topic, when coming to the topic, mostly based on the, for example, the proposal is on AMR, medical devices. So the topic you can develop, that is easy for you to frame your topic, relevance to the subject of interest. If there is no call, but still you wish to submit because there is a fire in you. No, I want to do some research because I have completed a PhD. I joined as a faculty for, I want to give some guidance to my research. Based on my PhD research, I got some new lead that need to be transformed into a research. So for that, no need to wait for a call. It is purely based on your passion and the subject of research. Or cutting edge or controversial debate topics in your research, like AstraZeneca, Covishield, kind of thing, or a AMR, or a kind of resistant towards. Recently, I heard that. I'm in a meeting. So recently, we come to know that. Okay, we have to have a debate topics in our research field. Okay, recently we have seen that one of the patients suffering a lot for the wound infection, that is a diabetic wound infections, and they have given a very good high antibiotic like even the cefimime as well as some sulfur-based drugs and everything. It is not going out. Still, the infections are there. And finally, they decided to give the Bactrim DS, good old antibiotics. Bactrim DS, everybody know that. It is a past 15 to 20, I think 20 years back, we used to take Bactrim DS for any kind of infections. But they have given Bactrim DS to that particular patient because they just show to see that the whole infection got reduced. So it is a kind of innovation that given all kind of new drugs, new molecules, our organisms are very much resistant, but they are not resistant to earlier drug. So there is a last week only come across. The doctor said, is only we have given Bactrim DS, madam. Fantastically it works. There is no infection nowadays. So the recent drugs are not having the sustainability to control the infection rate. This is the idea what we have generated. Then I told my students, why can't you work on Bactrim DS again and how for the recent scenario with the kind of resistant organism, whether it is clinical resistance or is a resistance from the ATC strains, you can work on that and see to that still Bactrim DS, it's open research. I have given the topic, anybody can work on that. So the controversial debate topics in your research field, you can very well take up and then pursue your research. Then come into the structure of the research proposal. Research proposal structure is given based on the funding agencies, what kind of structures they can have. Because since it is an online, they have given a different kind of setup of proposals. And mostly the research proposals vary from 35 to 40 pages over there in that. I am going to give as an example from DBT. In that, they have divided the proposals to 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1 in the first page, they will give it as a general information. So it will give a brief summary of the research proposal. What the research, it is general information, nothing but a brief summary. Who is the principal investigator? Sorry. Who is the principal investigator? Who is your co-PAs? What is the title? The title, the topic, it should be very clear. It should be very much informative. No need to have add and for that. No need to have that kind of sentence. And you have to give your which institution you are going to take up the study, the budget, the scope. The scope of the project is very much important. What do you mean by scope over here? We don't know because we are thinking that scope is the aim or scope is the objective kind of thing. No, it is not. Scope, what you are going to do. For example, we now discuss about Bactrim DS medicine. So the scope is to re-evaluate the bacterium DS molecule for resistance, the current resistance clinical pathogens. That is the one. So you are going to re-evaluate this one. This is a kind of, for example, I am saying you can have unique. So scopes will be 2 to 3 lines. And for that, you have to have a collaborative, whether it is a complete college study or a university study, or you are going to have collaboration with the kind of medical hospitals or any kind of industries. All those details need to be given. Duration is 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. For Tata Energy, we got 5 years project. We got 3 years, we completed, and we got extension for that. So the duration maybe depends on the thought, or duration maybe depends on you may get extension if your project shows a promising results, or a kind of partially you done, you need extension. That is also possible in any kind of funding agencies. And details on the head, who is the head of the institution. Finally, the project summary in 300 words it has given. The project summary is the most important. It should be read by, it has been read by the evaluators. What is in project summary? In 1 page, we can give the complete details about your research proposal. Majorly, what is the current scenario, where the demand is there, where the gap is there, where the white space is there, and where you are going to fit into the gap, how you are going to fit into the gap, what is the methodology you are going to follow, what is your current knowledge, have you done any background work? For example, I did some bacterial DS evaluation with the kind of Acinetobacter resistant species. Okay, what about the other species? So I did for some other species that can be extended to the new species. So this is the kind of background information, what we are going to achieve within the time period, what is the kind of deliverables. Most of the funding agencies are looking for how much deliverables in the sense output, whether it will be in the terms of publication, or whether it will be in terms of patents, or in the kind of manpower generations, human resource development, or facility creation. Everything is coming into the point. So you can able to narrate your summary of your project proposal in such a way it should be taken care of while reading. It will give a complete profile of your research proposal. So you will give importance to the project summary. Next comes part is the investigators details, PI, co-PI, co-PI 1, co-PI 2, or the collaborators details that you can give. The third part is the technical details of the project. The first one they have given is origin of the proposal. What is the origin of the proposal? Where you got it? What is the kind of information you got it? For example, as I already told, AstraZeneca with the Covishield, or a bacterial DS with the kind of infection detection, are the resistant organisms, are a new molecule inventions, are a kind of repurposing some of the molecule. So that is the kind of, for example, during COVID-19, our CSIR own laboratories, IACT has developed repurposing some of the molecules, and then they make the molecule in such a way so that it will have very high impact with the kind of coronavirus. So that kind of information you got to profile. It may be around 1 page. How the proposal has been originated, for that you have to give the background. Background in the sense, why the research? Antimicrobial resistance is very common in the current scenario. I am going to work on this. Some of the organisms are not showing resistance. Some of the organisms are showing resistance towards the particular antibiotics. So why that need to be studied? This is the way you have to. So origin of the proposal, you have to be clearly mention the rationale of the study. What is the purpose? What we have to do, that needs to be explained. Hypothesis, in the sense, that's the most important thing. What kind of hypothesis, what kind of idea you are going to implement in your research proposal? For example, I am going to work on bacterium DS re-evaluation of bacterium DS molecule or the tablet or the active molecule with respect to the current resistant organisms. So how I am going to do? So bacterium DS is already there. It has been shown that they are not, it has been proved that they are not for the new resistant organisms in earlier 20 years back. Now they are showing a kind of that is susceptible to this organism. Then we can have a hypothesis in a kind of figurative manner. You have to draw a graph. What is a bacterial DS molecule? Why it is not doing? Why it has been done again? showing again. So that kind of hypothetical information you can provide. Then key questions on the project. This is, you can raise number of, for example, we submitted on proposal on data innovation. No? For that, we need to have a collagen. For that, we need to have a functionalization of collagen. We need to develop the addresses and we have to study. For that, we raise the question on what is collagen, how it can be extracted, what is the type of collagen I have used, how I am going to make a functionalization, what are the molecules used for the functionalization, how the final product will look like, what is the stability of the product, how it can be applied. So there is a number of questions, it has been there in you, it will come. So the key questions on the project, it should be summarized over there. Then current research status on the proposal, both at national and this is most important. That information will show you how far you are in the limelight or getting in the kind of information about the current research status. For example, if you are going to work with the collagen, what is the collagen research at national level, at international level? And moreover, if you are going to narrow down what kind of collagen you are working at, you are developing an inhibitor for the collagenase, then what are the inhibitor study that has been done at national level or international level? So if you are going to develop a new molecule to protect from your sun, that is the UV radiations. So UV radiation protection agents are already there over there. How far they have studied, what are the new molecules? For example, we did the research on sun protection molecule from many microbial species. We did, there is no report on that. We propose that this is a kind of new molecule not yet revealed for the particular application. So we have taken as such, what is the international scenario? What kind of, for example, in US, what kind of research on sun protection molecule? What kind of research in Switzerland? What kind of research in Norway? All the developing countries, you can see to that and then compare with that. Those studies are already there. My studies entirely different. So the relevance of the study in the current scenario. What, for example, in we have got stroke, we couldn't be able to survive in the hot summer. So how the current research scenario in the sense, the particular research limelight topic, what you have taken, you have to show the relevance to the particular topic. Then the most important thing is expected outcome of the study. What you are expecting, what kind of, whether you are expecting only the research publication, whether you are going to expecting some kind of new product, or the patent may be generated, or a kind of product I can able to deliver to the industry, or if I am going to train some of the few manpowers so that they will be helpful for the society. So that kind of outcome you can able to give. That is the most important, because they are going to fund for more than 50 to 100 lakhs. Then their expectations, how far it is beneficial for the researcher to go into it. So that is the thing they need. So expected outcome of the study needs to be explained over here. And the most important thing is the preliminary work done so far. What is the work you have done? Because without any kind of basic knowledge, it is not possible for you to propose any proposal. If you've done any kind of antimicrobial studies from plants or any kind of thing, this plant shown very high antimicrobial activity. But you want to go deep into that, what is the molecule responsible for? For that, you have to spend more than 1 or 2 years to extract the molecule, what is the new molecule, you have to done so many number of instrumental studies, and then you have to study how the antimicrobial mechanism of antimicrobial activity by using so many number of imaging technique, so many number of membrane penetration technique, and how far whether it is a kind of biobactericidal or bacteriostatic, whether it will completely arrest the cell or recurrence is there or not. So what is the kind of preliminary work you've done, so that the readers or the reviewers or the evaluators will come to know that, okay, this proposal submitted researcher has some basic knowledge on the researcher. That is the first tick they will give. Okay, you did some work and then you are extrapolating the further research. So it is important to give the specific objectives. Always don't give us objectives in a kind of 10 points. Only 3 objectives it can be given that should be implemented in your research. You have to give the specific objectives towards the indicator, variable indicators, and progress should follow each specific. So only 3 objectives, not give more than 3 objectives. How you are, for example, in our case, how I have the collagen extraction from particular species, particular animal, particular organ. That is the one. Then the characterization study. Third object is developing a material. That's all. In the extraction procedures and other things, I can detail the objectives, what is the methodology I'm going to follow, what is the yield, how I am going to calculate, how I am going to check the purity of the collagen, everything. But in the objective, extraction of collagen, functionalization of collagen, then material development and its use. That's all. These are the specific objects. Like that, we have to provide. Then comes the work plan. Work plan, what is the time plan? That is the most, for 3 months, you can work on some particular aspect. After 3 months, you are going for some other work. After 3 months. So the time slot is most important over here. Then connectivity with the collaborating institution. For example, if I am collaborating with the kind of IIT, then I said in the collaboration in such a way that the initial part of the work extraction can be done over here, and the modification can be done by themselves, and the final evaluation will be done by CLRA, kind of thing. What is the connectivity? What is the percentage share of the work from each individual institutions? Then you are going to collaborate. You may be collaborate with a single institution, you may be collaborating with the multiple institution. For that, you have to give the percentage of share of the work. What is the connectivity? You did some part, and other people will carry that particular part, other people will carry the evaluation part, another will carry the application part, and finally, all the teamwork will come into a kind of a product that will be beneficial for the society. Okay. Next one is the alternate strategy. For example, you are proposing something. If it is not work, for example, I am saying that I am going to aiming for type 4 collagen from intestine of any avian intestine or any, because it is going as a waste. I thought, okay, it is nothing but the collagen. Why can't I take the collagen? For that collagen is entirely different from the skin collagen. There is a type 1 collagen. Here it may be type 3 or type 4. My aim is to have the type 4 collagen. In that case, if I am not able to get that type 4 collagen in the method what I have described, then what is the alternate strategy? If you are so confident in your research work, no need to worry about this alternate strategy. But if there is a doubt in that, you are not going to get type 4 collagen, you are going to get type 3 collagen in the sense, what is the alternate strategy? You are going to change the methodology or your experimental design that needs to be explained in a detail. In most of the time, what I have given, nothing is, no alternate strategies are there for this research, because already the work has been 25% completed in the lab. So I know what I am aiming for. So no alternative strategies, nothing is there. But in case if your proposal has some doubt, in that case, you have to provide the alternative strategy on the methodology or a kind of assessment, everything you can do. Then the timeline is most important. And the most important thing is the list of experts in your set topics. For example, we used to give a collagen in the sense we used to specifically collect national, international, specific researcher, and then we can give it as an expert so that the research proposal, it is not sure that what are the name you are giving, like for example, research publications, we are giving some reviews, no? We are not sure that the paper is going for that particular reviews. The same thing, the list of experts in your field. If you are working in immunology, you select some immunological expert in your field. If you are working in biochemical aspect, you have to select and give that kind of experts in your field, so that they will come to know about this kind of researcher or this kind of experts are available in that particular field, because that database is very much essential for them, so that it is necessary. Then comes the budget details. Here, don't give a kind of extraordinary 100 lakhs, 200 lakhs. Minimum budget, what it is there. For example, non-recurring kind of facilities. What is the most important facility you would like to pursue for your research? With that facility only, I can able to carry out my research. Without that, I can't able to. For example, one of my proposals we just submitted, we badly need the scanning electron microscope, benchtop scanning electron microscope to study the surface changes. For that, we have given, they have allotted 45 to 50 lakhs, they have given. So not that is most, give a justification for that. This important facility is required for me. For example, I need to have a ultrasonic bath. I need to have a uniphoto combination, photo electrode combinations. I need to have a microscope. I need to have a photo imaging system. I need to have a RT-PCR. I need to have a PCR. Give us justification. Without that, the work cannot be proceeded. That non-recurring unit. Recurring is nothing but all your manpower and other things. Your proposal needs to be executed by yourself, and one project assistant is more than enough. That is fine. If you have nowadays, you know that the fellowship has been raised to the highest level. Most of the funds, what you are going to give us a budget is going for manpower, 30 to 40% manpower. If you are going to give a 2 project assistant or 2 kind of JRF, most of the funding is going for manpower, and you may not get any kind of instrument for budget for instrument other things. So be careful while providing manpower. You yourself can work because you are so young youngsters, and your thought, your idea can be executed by yourself. You need some assistance because you are too busy with academic. In order to spend time with the research, you can take 1 or 2 researchers, but mind that, keeping in mind, the researcher take much funds from your budget. And it comes to the consumable. Nowadays, all the chemicals are going in a very high rate. Even antibody, getting an antibody is very difficult, and getting a serum, maintaining the cell lines, cultures, and everything. And as well as the contingency, for example, I am going to take some sections, I'm going to have some staining, I am going to have some imaging from outside, I'm going to make some kind of new device. So everything you have to make it. Then travel, then overhead charges. It will be there only. So travel, for the local travel you can make, or if the budget is your proposal is with the international agencies as a collaborator, you can have a travel, you can give a travel for your visit to at international sites, and they can come over here. So you have to give a travel details, very pakka, saying that this is in the whole 3 years period of my study, one time I can visit to Japan, or one time I can visit 3 years. The collaborator will come and visit also. So that travel details needs to be given. Then you have to, it's the most important, existing facilities. What are the facilities in your lab? Do you have any lab space? Do you have any like a cold room or a kind of freezer, facilities, animal house, electrical systems, and everything? What are the facilities, so that it gives an opinion for the reviewer? Okay, they have enough facility. The proposal is also good. It is possible for that researcher or the scientist to execute the study. So existing facility is most important. Now comes the IBS, that is a biosafety company details. When you are going to work with the kind of resistant species or genetically modified species, you have to have the biosafety system, and you have to have the committee for that details need to be given. Then comes the animal ethical committee, because everything goes with the ethics. If you are going to pursue any animal studies, all your proposals should be approved by animal ethical committee. How many number of animals you are going to, what kind of organs you are going to work on, how many days you are going to put it in the cage, how you are going to feed, what kind of measures for the pain removal, what kind of system you are going to follow, who is going to take care of, everything needs to be given. Animal ethical committee approval is mostly needed before completing the study analysis. So you have to take care. Then declaration, you know that so-and-so is working in the institute, and your head of the institute will give you. Then you have to get complete biodata. It should show your publication on the relevant field. If you are not having any publication on the relevant field, but you have to give a specification that there is a lead paper, I have got it from that lead. In the origin of the proposal itself, you can summarize. I did the study, the paper has been published. From that, I got a lead. That lead has been then framed into a research proposal. So that kind of publications you can give on that. And the list of published in the relevant field, list of patents in the relevant. So this is the kind of structure of your research proposal. So many number, you have to work on that. It's not so easy to write a proposal, but when you are having passion on your research, it is nothing. You can start writing, your pen won't stay. You will start writing within 2 to 3 days, you can complete your proposal also. Then the language. Because because I am the evaluator for most of the reviewer research proposal I am evaluating. Then the language is too bad over here. So they said use of language of research, language of science. That needs to be explained. Avoid creating new terms in your proposal. For example, you are having some kind of abbreviation. But if it is needed, for example, MMPs, matrix metalloproteases, is very common, acceptable globally, so that MMPs you can write. For example, if you are going to a detection device, instant detection device, IDD, it's not acceptable, but you can give a justification definition only. Okay, that maximum you can avoid that. Avoid using first person. I am going to do myself. It's not like that. The proposal start, the research will speak about kind of thing. Then the tone of your writing should be professional and serious. In other words, use academic voice in your research. As a kind of research publication, the voice should be in academic. Don't use that. I'm going to do research. I have done this one. Don't use that kind of voice and everything. Academic voice is not a scientific voice. The research team can able to make it like that. You can make it. Then clarity. Your writing should be precise, so that readers should have a clear understanding of the project. Don't use excessive jargon. That is the way we are expecting that kind of output. Don't give the excessive jargon and make sure you define any new term. This is what I am saying. That if you are going to define a new term, you have to define such a way, and then make logical comparison between ideas and using a term consistently throughout your paper. For example, if you are going to talk about bacterial species, that species should be in italics with the generic gene name as well as the species name. And then you have to narrate everywhere you are going to, for example, Acinetobacter baumannii, in the sense, you have to put A. baumannii in italics. So like that, throughout this, only at the first page you can give Acinetobacter baumannii, then bracket A. baumannii, so that the same thing will be proceeded throughout your paper, proposal. Then consistency. Avoid overuse of passive voice. Describe things precisely, and to that point you have to. Don't have an extended way of writing. To the point. I'm going to extract the collagen. That collagen can be functionalized with the kind of number of molecules. That molecule, after functionalization, it will be used for the product. To the point you can. Then it will be easily understood by the readers. Then assign one argument or idea. For example, if the collagen is extracted over here, what kind of collagen I am going to extract? That definition. So some kind of argument you yourself can. Paragraph, the separation of paragraph is most important one. Break your text into different paragraphs. Use a variety of sentence lengths. For example, if you are going to continuously saying something, the collagen can be extracted using this method, and it can be purified, and it can be tested, and it has been purity will be checked. That is a kind of long sentence it will be given. Instead, you can give a short sentence it will be. Then continuity. For example, in one paragraph we are talking about AMR, in another paragraph we are talking about some other species, in the third paragraph we are continuing with the first paragraph. You should not like there will be a continuity over there. And use translation words like and or that, so that the flow can be maintained. You have to see the continuity of the things and avoid using creative writing techniques such as smiles, metaphors, figurative language, and poetry. No need to have, it's a scientific research proposal, no need to give this kind of information. And moreover, don't use contractions in your proposal. That is can't, don't do it. If you have to change yourself, there is a possibility kind of, it may be that it may be possible. The hypothetically may be explained, kind of words you can use. Use words that reflect the environment in your research paper. Because if you are so passionate towards that, no need to say these kind of information, because you know how to write, how to project, how to showcase your own research idea. That is possible. Then writing about people, use respective language and they use appropriate references to reflect series of events and timelines in your proposals. What is the skill required for this? You have a particular subject knowledge. You are going to propose a proposal, or that you have to have a background knowledge. That needs to be clear out here. And then critical thinking will be there. Communication is mostly needed. When you're writing something, I think hopefully most of us reading papers now, from Nature, from PNAS, from Lancet. We are reading papers. You please go through our own publication, Lancet. We got immediate acceptance without any kind of correction. This small correction is there. I am very much proud of myself. Oh, it has been narrated in such a way, it has been understood by the people in Lancet groups. The reader has able to read and understand what I am going to read. So the communication skills you have to have over here. Then you are submitting your return. What is the success rate? Don't expect immediately to come. If your proposal is going to talk about a novel product, novel drug, novel scenario, and your background support and background knowledge, then with the amount of budget, if it is possible, with the facilities available in your institution, immediately it will be given. In US, according to NIH, Wellcome Trust and NHMRC, the percentage acceptance is only 20.5%, 20%, 7% United. Whereas Indian scenario, 15 to 20% based on the DST, DBT, CSR, more than 25%, ICMR, ICR, they are giving enough fund because the current scenario is health sector. So health sector, if you devise or if you have any kind of good idea on health sector, giving a medical device, giving a drug, formulating a drug, and everything systematic running pharmacokinesis, pharmacodynamics of particular drugs, everything is possible in ICMR that it's available. You can make it. This is the success rate. And common mistakes what we used to do is we are writing lengthy proposals so that like 40 pages, like students are writing papers now. Like recently in Mumbai, they said Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, kind of things. No need to have. You have to be, the proposal should be very much precise and then concise. And then it should be very much clear to the sense of purpose. And no need to have too much research on. In 1940, somebody did. 1915, somebody, no need. The recent 10 years or recent 15 years, a decade ago, what kind of research it has been there in the public domain. How it will be helpful for you. What is the background of the site? That is more than enough. No need to give a too much research background. Not citing major works in the literature. So no need to cite it. What is your research? No need to cite over here. You can cite your research in 1 or 2 places saying that this work has been done, it has been published. Like that. You can have most international status and national status over there. Then you can able to correlate and you can able to give a supporting from those literatures. Then no need to give too much focus on minor issues. No need to give. You have to give, otherwise your major issues will be resolved, and so that you have to give no need to give much importance to the minor issues. And then inability to frame a persuasive or coherent argument with the proposed study. This is another common yet crucial mistake of grant seekers. The research proposal must be able to effectively argue why a study should be approved or funded. The question, the third question in the proposal that we have taken the questions to be asked, no? Yeah, that is fourth question. Questions to be answered. In that, why the study has to be taken? What is the? Yeah. So why the study? Why the study has to be taken and why it need to be funded? Then nowadays Grammarly is there. You can check your earlier it was not there. Even most of our research papers are rejected based on grammar mistake. Better avoid. Check with some kind of getting help from the other people. If you are done with the artificial intelligence, then inform that it has been corrected using artificial intelligence, which site you have used. That needs to be given here. And your proposals should be innovative and push the frontiers of knowledge. That is the most important thing. And your proposal should be national needs and we have priorities, and it should integrate well with the education goals. I am in CLR. What is my institute goals are there? So what is the mandate of my institute so that I can get along with that and then involve research in your field? That your research proposal should advance you toward your life goals. You should be stepping stone to the next thing. You should be compatible with it. This is the institution goals. So it represent a contribution to the society. That almost we have whatever we are doing research, it should be for the society because all the research fundings are using taxpayers' money. So we have to do something. We have to pay back to the society. And the don'ts, you should not rush in your proposal. Proposal advertisement may be given a month before. At the time, 2 to 3 days, you start working on that. Don't do it. Hey, don't wait until last minute. Don't wait until last minute. You have to start working on that. Every day you have to spend half an hour, 1 hour by developing or this a kind of system. You have to work on that. Then don't make the proposed work too narrow or too broad. You know the title, you know how to explain it, then put some scientific evidence, then it is fine. Don't ask for too much money or too little also. You know how much manpower is required, one manpower or 2 manpower, how much funding. You know how much is required for the non-recurring. Any basic instrument if you need, that can be done. Then for the contingency, for example, you are going to have a serum, cell lines and everything. So you calculate accordingly. Don't ask for the too much money. Then don't ignore rules. In any proposal funding agency, they have given a rule you have to follow. When it comes, you have to follow over. So with that, I think I can finish my input for tips to write research proposal. I have to acknowledge my students, PhD students, and I like to thank. I think I don't take much time. Gomati, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks for accepting our invitation, and you have given it in a very massive way that what are all the funding resources available, and like each step you have explained clearly. Maybe even a newcomer can easily apply for the funding. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. On behalf of Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute and Academic Staff College, I would like to thank Dr. Nyanamani ma'am for giving us this wonderful session and sharing her knowledge. And because ma'am would be the right person to give the tips, because ma'am has already got 10 research funding from so many sources from DST, DBT, and Tata Innovation Fund, etc. Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting us, ma'am.
Thank you.
If participants, if you have any doubts, you can ask to ma'am.
Yeah. They can mail to me.
Yeah,
They can
yes, ma'am.
contact us. They can
Yeah,
contact
yes,
us.
ma'am. So you can, I'll share the number. I mean, if you share the questions, I can mail to ma'am.
Yeah, that will be good. Good.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Shall I leave now?
Yes, ma'am. Dear participants, the feedback link is posted in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form.
Okay, I'm leaving.